We're going to need a blooper.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Conscious Cruiser, episode number 22. Woo! I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. With me today, I got Scott from Controversial Cruising. We got Alisa from Adventures in Cruising. And we're going to talk today about, know before you go, the approach to dress code on a cruise. Are you ready for this? I'm excited for it. How about y'all?
I'm excited for it.
Well, we're going to get right back here then, right after this.
Welcome into the Conscious Cruiser podcast, the know before you go approach to cruising and travel. The smartest cruiser is the Conscious Cruiser. And your conscious casters, Alisa, Chet, and Scott.
All right. You guys had exciting long vacations in between episode number 21 and episode 22.
Yeah. I missed that single, Chet. We're all like rocking and waving.
Exactly. The music is bringing us back.
Yeah, we got to get back, y'all. We're glad y'all are here. It's Monday morning, 8:30 here Eastern time, and we're going to be back now with the Conscious Cruiser every week for a while. How about that? And we also rotate around our YouTube channels, so you can catch us this week while you're watching us now on Sea Lake Journeys. Next week, we're going to be with Alisas Adventures in Cruising. The week after that, we're going to be back over with Scott at Controversial Cruising.
That's right. And I missed you guys. I definitely missed you guys. I know. I think I've done 2 cruises since I've been back here with you guys, but I've definitely missed the Conscious cast. I've missed all of our viewers too, and I'm excited to jump into another topic with you guys.
Yeah, you guys were off cruising. Alisa went cruising, and I've been here.
Holding it down with the rise and shine. So thank you very much too, also for that, Chet.
Okay, y'all ready to get this first question on the road here?
Let's do it.
Ready.
Okay. In your opinion, should cruise lines have a dress code for elegant, also known as formal nights? Should they have it? Who wants to kick that one off?
Ladies first.
You guys get me every time.
Well, exactly.
I mean, I think if they're going to advertise a formal night and have it in the rotation still, then yes, they should enforce the dress code. I think it's a cruise tradition that I really enjoy, and the cruise lines themselves seem to want to continue making it a part of the regular activity. So, yep, is my answer.
Alisa, I think I have to agree with you. I love getting dressed up. I love looking forward to Elegant Night. There's going to be a better menu, a different menu. Let's not say better, but a different menu, right? But, honestly, what I've kind of learned over the last year and a half of getting, I wouldn't say back into cruising, but getting more heavy into cruising is that you just can't please everybody. Right. And I think that sometimes, right, even somebody like myself who loves to get dressed up and loves to put on, not a tuxedo, but a suit or, a button up or something like that and go to dinner. Sometimes I just don't, so the freestyle cruising, like, let me just use Carnival. Obviously, I'm wearing their sweatshirt, but let me just use Carnival where, they say, OK, there is an elegant night, but if you don't want to be elegant, you can still go to the dining room and you could still do that where they're not as heavily enforcing dress code, so it's a little bit more freestyle. I think that's kind of the world of cruising and kind of where we're going into. But honestly, if you're going to have an elegant night, like a formal night, let's not call it elegant, formal night, I think you should enforce the dress code. But, freestyle cruising now is it's getting so popular.
Yeah, which brings the middle of the road answer to me. Maybe they should just have 2 dining rooms. One for those of us who like the traditional get dressed up, and one for those people who say, I dress up all the time for work and I don't want to on vacation. So maybe we can compromise, have a dining room for those of us who want to dress up. And I've got a couple examples here for you. This one right here at the captain's party where I'm wearing a full tux. Okay.
Right.
Sometimes you want to dress up all the way because you're going to go meet the captain. right? And other times now you don't have to dress up all the way. This one here, I just have a regular suit on, and Robin's wearing a cocktail dress instead of the gown you saw in the other picture.
Lovely.
Which brings me to defining elegant and formal night for you, which I probably should have done first, but here we are. The dress code formal, I'm taking this out of the princess pattern, which is the same for Carnival, same for Norwegian and Royal.
Yes.
And so the code for that is when formal nights are held, here are recommendations for the evening's attire. Evening gown, cocktail dress, or elegant pantsuit for the ladies, tuxedo, dark suit, or dinner jacket and slacks for the men. And so I had an example there of a tuxedo and a suit. And I was looking for another picture where maybe I had just worn a dress shirt and pants, but I couldn't find one. But
you guys like to get dressed up, I see.
Yeah. Well, my motto has always been on formal night, I do not want the waiter to outdress me.
You know? Good point.
I just want to be dressed as good as the waiter. I mean,
I like that. I like that.
So, that's funny.
So that's my options there.
I was just gonna say for those who are listening on Spotify, if you want to tune in to one of the YouTube channels, specifically Sea Lake Journey, so you can see those awesome pictures that that Chet just put up, we can get an appreciation for the different dress styles there. But I thought you guys both looked great, and I'm all for an opportunity to dress up. So I know you might not want to do it all the time, and that's still your option. If you don't feel like dressing up that night, like maybe you had a crazy day in port, or maybe you're just chillaxing and don't want to, you're not going to go hungry. You don't have to go to the main dining room to have your dinner. But if that's the requirement for going into the main dining room, I think you should recognize that.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just brought one dress shirt, and when you put it on, you put your left hand up and there was a hole under it and you didn't realize. So you put your hand down and you took your shirt off, and then you went to the buffet.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Nobody knew that. I was
always an option. Pizza's an option. Room service is an option.
That happened. It felt really bad. I felt really bad. I wanted to get dressed up. I no longer have that shirt anymore.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Unless you fix the hole, that's good.
Let's see what happens here with the second question, y'all. Is there an item that you always bring on a cruise for the dress-up nights? What's something that you always bring for them? Scott, maybe a shirt without a hole?
Definitely a shirt without a hole, and definitely pants without a hole or holes, for sure. Unless the ones that are supposed to be there. But yes, 110%. But I tell you the truth. This may catch you as a surprise, but I'm a big scent guy. So, you know, I like the accessories and all that other stuff. But when you walk into a room or you walk in and you sit down to dinner, right? First person, ooh, you smell good. Right? I want to be that person. I want you to tell me, ooh, who smells good? I'm like, I don't know. Me? So I like my scents. I always make sure I bring, you know, a nice cologne so you can smell me from a mile away. No, I don't drench myself.
Don't douse yourself.
I don't douse myself. But I do get them on cruise ports, and sometimes I indulge on the cruise ships. I know they're a little bit expensive, but yeah, I'm a big scents guy. So
you're right. I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not right now. Maybe not right now. That's the morning, but
I think I you know, sometimes as you're thinking about it and what kind of cruise it's going to be and who you're traveling with, and you know whether or not you guys are actually going to do formal night, I think I always have a black dress. You know, ladies, the little black dress is always comes in handy. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, and then you're all set. And kind of going along with that, I'm not a huge shoe girl. I know people really like their shoes, but I'm able to pack a few pairs of shoes and make it through a week-long cruise. But I do make sure that I have something that's going to go with that black dress, so that I could dress up for a formal night.
Love that.
Awesome. Well, obviously for me, other than bringing a tux and a suit, I'd like to bring a lint roller. And as you can, baby Enzo, we have dogs, and occasionally a little dog hair gets on something. So I always have to have a lint roller to make sure that there's no remnants of the dogs going with me to the dining room.
Correct. Great tip. Great tip. And you want to know what? I think I'm just going to keep on exposing myself in this episode.
Share. You're among friends.
As I'm remembering now, right when we started getting back into cruising, maybe about two and a half years ago after the pandemic, I remember I hadn't really tried on a lot of my formal clothes, so I just kind of trusted. We threw them in the bag. Everything fit except for my belt. So I only had one belt, and the furthest loop, and then you like make another loop. I've already done that, and it didn't fit in there. So we had pants, and I was doing this the whole entire time, trying to pull up pants during dinner, and it was So just bring an extra belt. I always bring an extra belt. Actually, there's one that stays in my cruise bag now, just in case I ever do that again or I forget a belt. Now I have a spare belt. So you learn from kind of those mistakes and I don't know, exposing yourself. So guys, bring in an extra belt. And
that's a good tip right there.
Very good tip.
Yeah, outstanding tip. And you know what, though, while we're here, I think it's time to thank today's sponsor for this episode number 22 of The Conscious Cruiser, and that is Alisa.
Next episode of The Conscious Cruiser is sponsored and supported by Alisas Adventures in Cruising and the Monday Mood Check. Check out the Monday Mood Check every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. For some exciting cruise talk, munch pack reviews, and even some home cooking. So start of your week right every week with Alisa and the Monday Mood Check. Don't miss it. And now back to the Conscious Cast.
I love that commercial. That's so awesome.
Me too.
We love a Monday mood check.
Right. Oh, that's today. The Monday
It
mood.
is today. It is today.
It is today. Yes. Yes. And we just had a time forward, springing forward. Did y'all have trouble getting up today?
Yes.
Or whenever we recorded this, I don't know.
We don't do that over here in Arizona, but
that's
I feel
right.
I feel for you.
Oh, yeah. I would like to feel that opt-out situation. Can't we just leave the time alone?
Apparently, that's what we're doing now. If everybody gets their stuff together, we're just going to leave the clock where it is now. Apparently, but would that change for cruising too? Maybe we'll do an episode about that.
Yeah,
that's
good.
On a cruise.
That's key. Got to stay on the ship's time.
Oh yeah. Oh
yes. Stay on the ship time, y'all. All right. For question number 3, though, let's. What's a tip that makes getting ready for elegant or formal night easier? How about a tip that's going to make it easier for everybody out there to get ready for that formal night? Okay, Alisa, it's your turn again.
How does this keep being anyway? I think once I don't know, do you guys like unpack as soon as you get into your cabin? Do you fully unpack your suitcase? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But if I have a dress or two that I'm planning on wearing on formal night, I make sure that I get that hanging up, and hopefully that's going to take care of any wrinkles that may have happened while it was packed in the suitcase. And if it looks terrible, and no amount of spray, no amount of steam is gonna get those wrinkles out, I will go ahead and send it down to be pressed. Now that's me because I'm an ironer. But you also want to be aware of that if you're going on Carnival, because they normally have the laundry rooms, and that's where the iron and ironing board is as well. If you want to, or if you need to go down and just knock those wrinkles out real quick. If you save it to the last minute, guess what? So are a lot of other people. And then there's a line. There's a line to iron your clothes. So if you want to be nice and crisp on elegant nights, hang up your stuff or iron it up so that you're all ready to go.
Great tip. I've definitely been there too, where I'm like, oh, tonight's formal night. I take out my shirt. It's like, Oh, then we got to do the old put the shower on, nobody's in there, turn the steam up, hanging on the thing, slam the door, and then just hope that the whole thing just cooks up and, you don't look like, a dried, wrinkled cat or something like that, like going to elegant night.
Sometimes you're talking to yourself like, yeah, sure, those are gonna fall out. Yeah, I have the spray. I have to steam it.
It'll be great. That's good. That's a good tip. So what I would say, this is what I would say about elegant night. And I'm going to kind of go back to the freestyling, right? I would say first, before you decide if you want to go to elegant night, I would check the main dining room menu, right? Because on a lot of these places, there's so many other places to eat. And I'm not telling you not to get dressed up. What I'm telling you to do is look at the menu first. For example, on my last cruise, I had 2 elegant nights. We had 1, we had 2, right? And sometimes I forget the menus. I know that Carnival does a rotating menu and they're kind of all the same, but I forgot which menu was which. And I looked at the menu and honestly, I was just going to get dressed up and find the whole or just an elegant night sooner. But I was going to get dressed up for the lobster, right? Okay, yes, I was going to get dressed up for me. I was going to get dressed up to, obviously go around. But we had 2 formal nights, and I don't eat lobster. So I'm going to get dressed up. I'm going to get dolled up. I'm going to, use my cologne and all that other stuff. Go to the dining room to sit there to get dressed up for somebody else's lobster, right? Because you can get the prime rib up on the buffet, which is what I did. You can get pizza up on the buffet. You can get all this other stuff up on the buffet. And most of the time, like 78% of the menu on the main dining room is also up at the buffet. Yep. Yes, there are things that you can only get in the main dining room. I get it. But again, for me, I made the decision, I'm not going to get dressed up for the lobster tonight because I don't feel like getting dressed up for the lobster. We're going to do it on the second night when I think they do the filet mignon, the rib and the short rib combo. I like that. So I'll get dressed up for that. But I would say read the menu first and then decide if you want to go to formal night and then make sure that you take out your stuff so it's not wrinkled. So there you go.
Hey, y'all got 2 great tips there. That's fantastic. Get that stuff ironed early and get over there and make sure it's even a menu you even want to get dressed up for. That's great stuff. I got a couple I can add to it. One of them is think of it as a photo opportunity. You want your photos taken good. Maybe you're going to have your Christmas cards made. We just did on our last cruise in December. So this year, when it comes time for me to send you guys Christmas cards, they're already made. We got dressed up and we took the pictures, right?
That's a good tip, Chet. I saw a lot of people on the last cruise using them as photo ops. I know there's people like Chris and Liz, our good friends from Carnival Cruise Addicts. Every cruise, they take a picture like that where they're smacking each other's behinds. And obviously, everybody gets a laugh when you're walking by. The photographer gets a laugh. And you get a really good picture. So
too funny.
And if you have to have a headshot where you work, like Robin from Sea Lake Journeys does, she gets her headshot taken there. So she's got a nice, all her makeup's all done, her hair. So she gets her headshot that she can use at work for her job.
Look at that multitasking.
Now, she did want to remind you, ladies, another tip for y'all is you don't have to wear heels to dress up. You can put on a nice dress and without heels, because some people, my feet's been killing me. I walked around Cozumel for 12 hours today. I don't want to put heels on. I get it. She gets it. She says, just wear your flat shoes. And guys, you don't have to wear a tie, even though all my pictures show me with a tie. There has been, like you say, Scott, the second formal night, I'm like, okay, I'm still going to wear my dress shirt and pants, follow along with the dress code. But, there is the third part there where it says jacket and slacks. So I'll put the jacket on, the slacks on, a nice shirt, and leave the tie behind. So keep that in mind. You don't have to strangle yourself if you don't want to.
Please don't strangle yourself.
Don't make your feet uncomfortable, ladies. You don't have to. In fact, she says, this is a quote from Robin from Sea Lake Journeys, ladies, go get yourself some nice, comfortable ballerina shoes.
Yeah.
And that's what she wears sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little difficult balancing down the hallway in the shoes.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
A quick question for you, Scott, just because you mentioned the menu, which I think that's a great tip, a great point for people. How are you checking the menu? Where are you checking the menu?
I am checking the menu on the app. So this is for Carnival. That was my last cruise. I would check the menu every single night to determine if I wanted to go there. And honestly, we only went 2 out of the 7, 2 out of the 7, I think 2 out of the 7 or 1 out of the 7 to the main dining room, because we found that we could just get most of the stuff up at the buffet. So, and one of them was the formal night. Yes, it was 2. We went 2 nights. So,
are you guys finding that the QR codes and or the posting of the menus outside the dining room is not as prevalent as it used to be?
yes.
I don't know. I feel like it's a little. That's why I asked, because I feel like it's a little harder to find the menu ahead of time. So that's a great tip. But you gotta search for it a little bit.
We have a little cheat because Robin, being gluten free because of celiacs, she gets the menu every night before anyway. So we get to see the whole menu that way. So you can request the menu if you're there at dinner. Say, hey, can I look at tomorrow's menu?
Mm-hmm.
They'll bring it to you.
Yeah,
that's
true.
If you want to. But hey, we're going to move on to the question of the cast. Question of the cast. Your favorite part of the episode. Do you go to the main dining room for elegant night all dressed up? Do you do it? Scott, do you? Do you get dressed up and go to the main dining room?
I would say out of 4 times, 3 times yes, and 1 time I'm casually dressed up. You know, I'm not going to go in shorts or a bathing suit or a tank top or anything like that. We're still going to follow the dress code lightly. But I would say 3 out of the 4 times that they have it, I will definitely be there. So 75% of the time, I'm all dressed up. I don't have a tuxedo, but I'm in either a suit or a really nice button up. Sometimes a tie, sometimes not a tie. And I always smell good. So if you want to sit next to me, you can. But yeah, I do really enjoy the elegant.
That's like, there's a seat right here next to you.
You know, because when do we really get to dress up otherwise? You know, obviously some of us dress up for work. I get it. You know, everyone's like, oh, I do it every day. But I mean, you know, dressed up and feel good and, you know, jiving and vibing and, you know, on a cruise. So 75% of the time I'm there.
Agree. I think my percentage is higher. I think it's more like 95%. I'm definitely looking forward to dressing up. I agree with you, Scott. I mean, we dress up for work, but it's not the same dress up for work. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's a fun night out to me. So I do enjoy dressing up, and unless there was some wardrobe malfunction or we had an issue in port that day, or
holy pit.
You know, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna enjoy it. And if you're on Carnival, you're gonna enjoy the production that's in the dining room as well.
Well, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to say, yes, we do dress up at the main dining room, but sometimes we go to something like the chef's table or specialty dining. And that's us. You can't see me on Spotify, but on YouTube you can. I'm wearing a tux there and Robin's wearing a gown, and that's us sitting there in the front.
I love the chef's table.
So we like to dress up, maybe not just for the dining room, but sometimes we'll go ahead and book a specialty dining, a steakhouse, a Sabatini's, something like that, or a chef's table, and get dressed up for that, because a lot of those require you to wear it. Mm-hmm. For instance, I have an invitation here in my hand from Spellbound. I know you can't see it on Spotify, but I'm holding an invitation from Spellbound. It is not just a specialty dining. It's the higher level. It's where they require you to dress up.
I want to
dress code, formal attire.
That's so cool.
It tells you.
Fancy.
And if you're going to go to the captain's circle, if you want to get your photo taken with the captain, they want you to dress up for that too.
What line is that? Is that Princess Chet? The captain's circle?
This captain's circle, no, that's Carnival Magic. That's the Carnival
Magic. Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now that captain was one of my favorites right there too. Nice. I love that guy. He was awesome. But yeah, so we dress up not just for the main dining room, but also for that specialty dining and for that extra special class of specialty dining that you can get on any cruise line. So we just like to dress up. We don't, like you say, we don't have any opportunity to do it here. I'm doing yard work or at the gym, or this is as dressed up as I get right here. I'm wearing a button-down shirt. Spotify. Usually I'm in a t-shirt.
If you just want to freestyle, right? I mean, there's lines out there like Carnival that, again, they'll lightly enforce the dress code. But if you just want to freestyle and you just want to come and you just want to hang out in flip-flops and shorts, and that's your vacation, we're not saying anything against that. You know, you do you. It's your vacation. You paid for it. Eat the way you want. If you only want to eat guys' burgers and ice cream,
Have at it.
we're not saying anything. We listen. We don't judge. Don't worry. But right, for those lines that do have a dress code, or those who do really like dressing up or elegant night, or, you know, going all out, hey, there's also a place for you too as well. It's the main dining room.
Right, the main dining room or the specialty dining.
Or
you can get dressed
dining,
up.
yes.
And I've talked to some people that never go to the main dining room. They're like, we don't want to dress up any night, so we just always go to the buffet every night, or go get pizza or hamburgers or whatever, because that's what they want to do. So they just sit by the pool and eat their food, and that's great. That's what they want to do, and that's why cruising is so great, isn't it?
Yes, there's lots of options. You can do what you want to do, like you said, like Scott said. I mean, you definitely have choices in there. I think it's something for everybody. So if that's how you want to spend your vacation, go for it. If you want to get dressed up, do it. If you rather just do the buffet, do that. If you want to go to Guy's Burgers or whatever other Pig and Anchor or any of the other specialties, do that. But enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. And I'm interested to hear all the viewers too, from Spotify and YouTube, in the comments, wherever you can. Put what you guys like to do. Do you guys sail on a particular cruise line because of their dress code enforcements? Or do you also just, you know, do you really like to go to Elegant Night, and doesn't matter, you bring your Elegant Night and you just go to both of them, and you always go to the main dining room? You know, let us know a little bit in the comments too, because we want to interact with you guys, whatever platform you're on. Again, we check all the comments on Spotify. We check all the comments on the YouTube side. And even, let's just say Chet is hosting this week, I will still go in and I will look at all the comments too, and I will reply to as well, because this is a podcast between the three of us, right? And we're trying to, you know, build this community together, and we want to have healthy conversations about cruising topics. And this isn't just us three, even though every single week you see me go, and I learn something, right? Whether it's from Chet, whether it's from Alisa, whether it's from myself, to not bring holy pitted.
We live and learn. We live and learn.
But yeah, we're always learning, and we can also learn from each other, and we can learn from you guys. So again, in those comments, if you guys have something to say, please say it too, and we'll start bringing some comments up. We'll start saying, you know, shouting out some people and things like that. So just let us know what you guys think about the topics, and let's have some healthy conversations down below.
Yeah, your question or comment could be our next episode. You never know.
Ooh, you never know. You never know.
All right, guys, we've had a great episode here. I want to remind you that we come on Spotify Mondays at 8:30, and we're also on YouTube, rotating our channels around at 8:30 on Monday mornings. So don't forget next week to join us for episode 23 with Alisas Adventures and Cruising. That topic is going to be how to not get the cruise crud. So before you go, tips on how to not get sick on your cruise.
I have some good tips for that one.
All right.
I just got over the cruise crud. I'll tell you guys how to avoid it next week.
Oh yeah, how did that work out, Scott?
It worked out.
Uh-oh. I'm messing up here. I'm trying to put the outro on before it was time.
Maybe that was a hint. I think it's time.
Guys, thanks for joining us here again today on Spotify and on YouTube. Guys. And we'll see you for episode number 23 next week.
We will.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.